Hey guys, just arrived in Crosse Wisconsin, last event of the year. You know, whenever the schedule is announced, you kind of pick a few out that you're pretty excited about, and this is one that I really am. There's a lot of fish here, not a lot of great big ones. You know, a 15 to 17 pound bag is a really good bag. I've been here over the years, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, and I don't ever think I made the top 10. I've cashed some checks and stuff like that, but just never really kind of got dialed in practice. Never got the right bites in the tournament. So I'm excited about this one. You guys know I love to throw a frog, and that's going to be a bait that probably I'm going to have in my hand a lot. You know, whenever I get out there, kind of see how the lake lays out. But speaking of the lake laying out, let's kind of go through the map and I'll show you what I think is going to happen. So looking at ActiveCaptain, there's a lot of water here, and you notice a lot of it's red, 5 foot or less. You know, other than the main channel, you know, this is pool 9, just all of these little ditches, backwaters and things. I'm probably not going to mess around in 9. I'm probably going to focus, this is pool 8. You can see I've got a lot of waypoints from over the years of fishing here. I'm probably going to spend a couple of days in 8 and at least one day up here in pool 7. Rumor on the street is that the lake's really low, so that's going to take a lot of the backwater out of play. So I really think that you're going to see this event. You're going to see a lot of guys fishing on the main channel, smallmouth. You know, the Black River here at takeoff, it always is a couple of guys that make the top 10. But I think you're going to see the main river and then some of these main chutes down here play. You know, it all depends on how much grass there is. And yeah, I mean, as we zoom in, you can see it gives it a lot more detail. What happens is, you know, this time of year, you want something with current in it. You know, you got this current, you know, that rolls through these ditches here. You know, the mouths of these little ditches and backwaters. That's kind of how I think I'm going to practice. My cross practice report is that fishing, you guys saw it was really, really tough for me. I really think this is going to be an event where after practice that the guys catch them are really going to catch them, because there's just not a lot of fish. Everything, the whole lake is choked out. You know, the backwaters, the flats, it's all eelgrass. You know, the frustrating thing for me in practice is I would get a few bites and literally go hours without a bite. Get a few bites and go hours. Everybody's like, well, go back to where you got bites. The places I got bites were small areas, and they're not going to last multiple days. So I'm going to have to figure out, hopefully catch some in the tournament, and then be able to practice some, you know, throughout the day. But I mean, you guys saw it in practice. I threw that 95% of the time in practice. Actually, I'm gonna take it back. I threw it 99% of the time. There's just not a lot of options out there. I didn't want to get out there in the ditches and stuff and fish. Now, if I had practice to do over again, I may have. I just kept thinking I would find that 1 or 2 magic flats, you know, for the frogs. So 15 pounds is the goal. Actually, 20 pounds is always the goal, but 15, I'll take it. But I'm just gonna go throw a frog. I'm gonna have a frog laid up there with 2 or 3 BBs in it. I'm gonna have one with about 10, and then one like this, about 20. So just wrapped up literally an hour ago, lacrosse. And you know, it's one of those that I'm pretty frustrated about, because the first day I caught 12 pounds. I stayed in pool 8, had my first frog bite, a 2.5 pounder. I hook it in the tongue, it dies. And then the second day, you know, major adjustment, like you guys saw, like at 11 o'clock I had one fish, ran up to pool 7 where I only spent a day of practice, and from that point on I spent the rest of the tournament catching them on a frog, and then caught some flipping boat docks, but missed the cut by a pound, you know. And that's the frustrating thing, is these kind of tournaments, frogging, flipping, swim jig, that kind of stuff's the ones where you really think that you're going to do good. And 14th's not terrible, but you know, I wanted to sneak into that top 10, and at least, I mean, it's fun fishing. Like, my hands are all scarred up. It's fun fishing. I just want to go fishing for another day. But the season's over for me, and it was a season that was like this. I mean, started low, high, very low, back to high, and then just like that the whole season. And that's something that we have to level out. I mean, I still like the highs, but you know, we just had too many lows this year. So we'll jump on ActiveCaptain here, and I'll kind of show you where it went down at Crosse. So we can fish 7, 8, and 9. I mean, you can see a lot of the area that I fished. You know, all these mouths of this current breaks coming in. I really didn't see that many guys up there. I really think that most of the guys that are down here in this lower end of 8, you know, kind of around the same thing. The Stoddard area, that's always been real popular. That's where Faircloth won a few years ago. You know, just a lot around it where it dumps in. You know, the key was, you really can't even see on ActiveCaptain, was just, you know, its holes. The eelgrass has taken over this system, and it's actually choked out a lot of the water. With combination of the water being low, it's just choked out. So you had to find some openings, you know, sand drops, sand points, current going through the grass. You know, what I looked for was, you know, duckweed that was matted over in the rise and against some of these cut banks. Lily pads, you know, anything that would create a cave under it was kind of the stuff. I know a lot of guys were fishing current, which, you know, coming through the millful and stuff like that, but you know, I was specifically, I frogged 90% of the time, so that's what I was looking for, and you know, we were one bite away from making the top 10.